Alright you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kiryaoni and I'm back with another video. So today, you guys see some stuff behind me. Today we are going to be making a storage bench. I went to Home Depot and I got this cut. This whole process of me going to Home Depot was a mess. Like I went with my friend, shout out to Adea. We went to Home Depot and if she wasn't there with me, I don't know what I would have done because this is heavy. Okay, this is heavy. But anyway, so that's first thing. If you're gonna do this, have somebody go with you to Home Depot. I got a 4x8 and I got a 2x4. And the 4x8 was cut into 4 pieces. The 2x4 was cut into 2 pieces. Now I'm going to leave the dimensions down in the description box so you guys know what to expect and what's going on. These are MDF and hardwood construction screws and they're 1 inch and 3/4. And then we're also going to be needing some full overlay frameless hinges. Now these are used for cabinets, but I wanted a spring hinge so that when I open it up, I would be able to, it would be able to stay up instead of it just flopping down. You know, we wanna make this quality, okay? We want people to think we got it from the store. So with that being said, now that we have all this stuff for the base, you're also gonna need some foam and some fabric, an outer fabric and an inner fabric if you want. But yeah, with that being said, let's get started. All right, you guys, so the first thing that we're gonna do is assemble our box. So I am first drilling pilot holes and then I go ahead and screw in my MDF screws for the sides and for the bottom. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and start to attach our foam. I'm using a staple gun. I would recommend if you can have, or if you can use an electric staple gun, go ahead and do that. Because when I tell y'all, my hands were cramping and it was not fun. But if you have the normal one, you know, it'll work. But it's just a lot easier if you use the one that is an electric one. So yeah, just go ahead and staple down your foam. I was using some leftover foam because I thought I would have enough and I didn't, so I had to go out and get a king size foam mattress topper. If you are just, you know, buying the foam just for this project, you can just get the king size mattress topper and that would be enough for the entire bench. But like I said, I had some on hand. I thought I would be able to use the rest of that and I couldn't. It wasn't enough. So yeah, just go ahead and staple everything together and make sure, it is very important that you pull everything taut. So now we're gonna go ahead and put our furniture sliders on the bottom. Now you guys need this. If you expect to move your bench anywhere, you need to put these on there because when I tell y'all this thing is heavy, it is no joke. And once you put stuff inside of it, you won't be able to move it anywhere unless you have some type of furniture sliders or feet on there. So I would highly recommend that you use the furniture sliders. So now we're gonna go ahead and put our fabric on top. If you would like to do something more tedious, you could definitely use the measurements of your box, accounting for the thickness of the foam, to make a pattern that you could cut out on the fabric and account for seam allowance and then sew that together and then slide it on the box. I did not want to do that, so that's not what I did. But if you wanted that more professional look, or if you're working with something like leather or pleather or anything like that, that's actually something that you're gonna have to do if you're using a more stiff fabric. But yeah, for me, this was enough for me to just pull it and flip it over and just staple everything. So I'd recommend starting at the top, just so you know what seam allowance you need to leave at the top, because that's where we want it the most smooth. The bottom we want it smooth too, but it's more important at the top because that's where the top piece is going to be, so we want it to sit flush against that when that time comes. So go ahead and pull super taut. If you guys have somebody in your house that can help you maneuver this thing around, because like I said, it's very heavy, I would recommend you do that, because you guys will see at the end my fabric kind of buckled a little bit, and that was because one of the fabric ripped through the staples at the bottom, because I was dragging this and pulling it this way, trying to make sure that I could get everything flush and straight. So in me trying to handle this thing, the fabric ripped from the staples, and by the time that I noticed it, I already put my stuff in there. So I definitely wasn't taking out all of my stuff just so I could turn it on its side and do all that. Maybe one day I will fix it. Yeah, I'll fix it, knowing myself. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I was trying to get this video up. So, you know, sometimes we have to let some things go. But yeah, so do the bottom first and then do the top. I got in my box because it was easier for me to do it that way. Like I said, if you have the electric staple gun, it'll probably be a lot easier for you. But because I had to maneuver and I had to press down on the lever and do all that other stuff, it was just a lot easier for me to sit inside the box and do that. So after you stapled everything, go ahead and remove the excess fabric. And now we're going to use that excess fabric to cover the top. So when covering the top, I used the leftover from the foam mattress and I doubled it. So I cut out one piece that was the exact dimensions of the wood, and then I cut out the excess foam that has like a little bit of seam allowance. It's like maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches, so that I could fold that over, because I wanted my top to be as cushy as possible, because I want it to be comfortable. You know, people are going to be sitting on this, I'm going to be sitting on this, so I want to make sure that it is definitely as comfortable as possible, and I can confirm it is. You guys, I watched a movie on this bench and I fell asleep. Like I was curled up to the side and I fell asleep. It was that comfortable. Not saying you're gonna fall asleep on this, but that's what happened to me. So yeah, go ahead, and if you wanted to get a 3-inch topper, that would be equally as that would be equivalent, and that would be fine. But yeah, so after we attach our foam, we're gonna go ahead and attach our fabric. Now, I rarely do I ever iron anything. I'm a steamer girl. I love using my steamer. But when it comes to using the top, I recommend that you guys do iron this, because we want to make sure that it is as nice and seamless and as smooth as possible. Because especially I'm dealing with carpet here, it's easy for the carpet, you know, the friction of the fabrics to get caught up and cause some type of buckling or some type of, you know, it's just not smooth, and that's not what we want. So go ahead and do that, and I found that pulling it on its side and stapling it on its side worked for me. But now we are going to go ahead and add our hinges. So you guys saw I showed you this template, and you're going to need something called, I believe it's a fastener bit. And if you go to Home Depot, and obviously I'll link everything in the description box, there is a kit. So it comes with that little template that you guys saw, and it comes with the bit. If you just get the hinges because you have a fastener bit, there is a template in there, but I found using that template a lot easier, because the template that the hinges come with, it's on paper. This is a mess, child. So anyway, I go ahead and I drill in the hole deep enough so that the hinge can just sit in it, just sit flush, and then I use my vacuum to clean up all of the debris. You're gonna have a lot of debris with this project, so make sure I always had my vacuum handy so that I can clean everything up. And especially if you're working with white fabric, it will make it dirty if you don't clean everything up. But you know, be clean, guys. You know, just clean it up. It don't take no more than 2 seconds. Just do it and you'll be fine. So I installed this, and if you guys just want a bench where you can just slide the top on and off, go ahead. But I didn't want to make a bench that wasn't fully functional or fully comparable to what I would get at a store. So that's why I did it. If you don't, you know, if this is too much handiwork for you, by all means, you know, you don't have to do it, but I just wanted to do that. So after I did that, guys, it was, after I put it together, I was so happy, but in my living room, it looked like a big white box, and not in a good way. Like, it looked good, but it didn't really, I don't know, I just felt like it was too big, and it stuck out like a sore thumb, but I needed that size so I could fit my stuff in there for storage. So I decided to go ahead and put these mirror stickers on there that I got from Amazon. I used pins to put everything in place and level it, and once I did that, I went ahead and removed the backing. The backing is not strong enough to hold it, so don't hold your breath. Go ahead and use some hot glue or some E6000 glue. And then there is a film on the bottom, or the film on it, and then when you take it off, it looks like this and it's all shiny. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Friday. Peace.